Years ago, when the technology of calculators were introduced in the mathematics classroom, there was a huge outcry about how students wouldn't be able to properly learn how to calculate, how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and more. So fast forward 10, 20, 30 years more, and calculators are throughout the school system, and people still learn how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and they use calculators. A couple weeks ago I was in Philadelphia at the EDUCON conference, and had the opportunity to have a little chat in the hall with David Warlick. And we were just sharing a couple of stories, and one of the things that I was sharing with him was that I really like about Google Docs. Today we had our digital learning project cohorts meet, and the students and teachers were creating stories. Many of them decided to do slides, very conscious of the fact that we were insistent about them using Creative Commons licensed material so that we're demonstrating ethical and responsible use. And it came up at one point that the Google Docs has a built-in search feature. They call it the research tool, and when you search for images in that tool, all those images come up. First off, it only searches Creative Commons licensed stuff, and it includes links so that everything's kind of properly cited right off the hop. You just take the image, drag it onto your slide, and arrange it how you like. When I was sharing with David that that's a nice feature, I like that about Google Docs, he said he doesn't like that. And I kind of intuitively understood that what he was getting at, and I didn't get a chance to question him, was that, well, he wants students to be more deliberate. And I'm guessing, I'm putting words in his mouth when I say this, but I'm thinking that what he was thinking in his head was students should be conscious of what they're doing, using Creative Commons licensed stuff, and being deliberate in citing and properly citing the resources that they use and take advantage of. And as I've thought about that for the last week or two, I'm wondering if it's not analogous to the calculator debate. What do you think? Should we be taking advantage of digital tools that make it easier and easier for us to seamlessly use properly cited materials? Or will that interfere with kids learning how to be responsible and ethical digital citizens? And let's take the digital out of that and let's just call them citizens now, because let's recognize the fact that the world that we live in is a hybrid environment where we live some of our lives offline and some of it online, and they blend in interesting ways. In every sense of the word interesting. So, what do you think? Is it better that we use these tools seamlessly, or should we not use those tools and go through the process of copying and pasting all the elements involved in a good citation? Or just take advantage of what the new technology has to offer? What would you do if it was your class? What would you do in your own life? How do you teach kids how to be responsible? Do we have to be deliberate that way, or, well, what do you think?